What is rolling, everybody? You're watching another video here on the Car Boot Collectors YouTube channel, the home of entertainment. So yeah, here we go. What's in the box, or what's in the boxes? Today, yeah, we're going to be doing a what's in the box. We're going to be having a little look through these 3 boxes of, this one is technically a tray of vintage toys and bits and pieces. This is a lot that I bought from an auction last week, and I haven't had a chance to look through it properly. Obviously I've had a quick flick through because, you know, I was too excited to wait a few days to film this video. But it's basically just a whole collection of blind bag toys, sort of from the early 90s through to sort of the early 2000s. In fact, there's some stuff in here which is really recent. There's some stuff in here from like 2018. There's just a whole load of like random blind bag products, you know, things like these kind of things. A lot of them are things that I'm not familiar with. I've never heard of them. They're probably things which like popped up, tried to be a fad and then failed and then instantly forgotten about. So there's just a lot of weird stuff in here which is like really quite nifty, you know, like transmutasaurs. And yeah, that's why I was after it, really. I just thought this would be a fun box to go for. I can't imagine I'm going to make a whole lot of money on this stuff, but it'll be fun to have a look through it. And you know, it's a bit of a gamble. There could be something really good in here. You know, some people buy scratch cards, some people play golf. So yeah, let's just get on and have a little look through and see what we've got. So we'll start off with this one. This is actually quite an exciting piece. These are incredibly rare. They're not worth a whole lot of money, but it's just something you never see. I've never had any of these before. So these are made by Ideal in the early 90s. These are called transmutasaurs, and they're basically like little dinosaur figures, sort of a similar vein to Monster in My Pocket, that kind of thing. A little dinosaurs covered in like guns and lasers and stuff. So yeah, these are pretty nifty. It comes in the original packet. It's got all of the little cards and sort of leaflets and stuff with it. So that's a really nice find. As I said already, they're not too expensive. They are impossible to find these. But, you know, something like this with the packet, that'll be quite appealing for someone if you collect these. It's probably worth maybe 15, 20 quid. So, you know, it might be a little more though, we will see. And next up, we got these SpongeBob SquarePants magnetic E-flyers made by a company called Emax. And they're like sort of Gogos Crazy Bonesy type things. They're quite heavy. They've, yeah, got a magnet in them apparently. Absolutely no idea. I've never heard of E-flyers. I just imagine it's a fad that never took off. So I'll put that over here in the pile of things that aren't too interesting. Let's go with this one next. This is something I'm sure a lot of people will remember. A lot of people had this, I assume, because I see them at the car boot all the time. This is a PG Tips. I'm not gonna be too careful. It's, yeah, the tape is stuck on there. Yeah, it's ripped it. Yeah, it's not a problem though. These are pretty common. They're not worth very much money. This is the PG Tips TMNT Dimension Escapade little booklet, and it comes with, I believe, a complete set of cards. It says so. Yeah, some of them are on the double ones, which I think do hold a little bit of value. These are not too sought after. These are incredibly common, and there's a set of cards there. But yeah, nonetheless, pretty cool. There's a leaflet that come with it, I assume, or at least someone must have mailed off to Brook Bond Tea to get something. I don't know, but yeah, it looks to be complete. It says it's complete anyway. Not worth a whole lot of money anyway, as I already mentioned. Then here we've got a bag of stuff related to The Incredibles from the first film, which I think came out in, what was that, like 2002, 2003? So it looks like there's a packet of Panini stickers in there, a magnet, which I'm pretty sure came with like cereal, and it looks like some other Panini stuff in there. So all sorts of little bits and pieces. I'm not going to bother opening all of them. Some of them are like that, where there's a few different bits and pieces in there. But some of them are, you know, they're just boring. So I'm not going to waste time going through all of it too in depth. So we've got a packet here of Spider-Man cards from the 90s. Not too exciting. And here is another pack of, you know, different cards, DC Marvel from the 90s. Now it's worth, you know, it's probably not worth mentioning, because I'm sure most people are aware. Marvel DC cards from this era are not really worth very much money. They were pretty overproduced. Nobody really collects them these days, and if they do, they're readily available pretty cheap. But there are the odd few cards that do command pretty good money. I saw the other day, there's a Stan Lee card from that era that runs about 50 quid. I don't know if there's probably not one in there, but you know, if there is, that'd be quite nice. I don't know what makes it so significant. There's a pack of Star Wars cards. These are relatively recent, with Kylo Ren on, Force Awakens era. So it's a weird lot. I really am confused by this, because there's old stuff in it from the 90s, and then there's basically brand new stuff in here, but they're all like bagged up in these things. Was someone just buying one blind bag here and there and putting it in a bag after they've opened it, or did they collect all these and then put them in bags at one time? I don't really get it. It's really confusing. I don't know why they're all bagged up. It's really quite unusual. It's a mystery that will never be solved because it's not really that interesting of a mystery. So this one right here is pretty cool. Now this has potential to probably be worth a little bit of money. These are some Digimon trading cards from the 90s, and they've got the original packet in there. These are pretty nifty. They appear to be Japanese import ones. They're looking really nice condition as well, so they're quite nice. They can go over in the cool stuff pile. This is the exclusive area of cool things over here. And here's another packet of Digimon things. So Digimon changing mini cards. Again, another Japanese thing. I have no idea sort of really what these are. But Digimon, pretty popular, pretty big collector base. If it's something rare, you know, it'll probably hold a bit of value. Then we've got some Yu-Gi-Oh stuff here. We've got some Yu-Gi-Oh lamin cards, which are basically like little bits of cardboard that are laminated. Why is that the gimmick that they're laminated? I don't understand it. And then these, me and my brother did have some of these back in the day. Yu-Gi-Oh stacks made by Panini, and they're basically just like little magnetic squares. They didn't take off for obvious reasons because they're boring. We've got some OG Gogos here. Now these are pretty cool. These are like the OG sort of ones from the 90s. And this is more the era of Gogos I'm familiar with, when they sort of rebooted them in the late 2000s. But yeah, the OG ones, there's a toilet and some other stuff and some packets there. Gogos do have a pretty big following internationally. Whenever I get Gogos, they're not worth a whole lot of money, but they do certainly sell. They generally go abroad. People in like Europe seem to collect them. There are the odd ones that are worth good money individually. There are quite a few packets of Gogos, different series and eras in here, so I'll probably just bundle all those up. Here we go. Oh, classic. Tazos. We've got a load of Looney Tunes Tazos. I definitely had a set of these back in the day. Pretty cool. Very common, not worth very much money at all, but cool. And that's what we're going to take away here. A lot of this stuff is not worth any money at all, but it is cool. Rugrats pencil figure. There he is, Tommy Pickles. And, you know, minty condition with the packet, with the cards. There's probably nobody out there that wants this, but if they do, here it is. You know, there it is. And here's a packet of Pokemon stickers. There is actually quite a few Pokemon things in here. Unfortunately, none of like the, you know, the cards. If there have been some trading cards in here that have been opened with the packet, some of the empty packets are worth pretty insane money. But there's a few things in here like this, like the more like novelty type things. So yeah, there's some stickers. I think these are Merlin stickers with the wrapper. Unfortunately, these are really common. You can get full booster boxes of these packets for like 20 quid. They're really not that expensive. And then here we've got a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers straw, still sealed in the packet. The Yellow Ranger. Can't remember the Yellow Ranger's name. Not that it would be relevant if I did. So yeah, I'm gonna just dump this stuff back in here. I'll sort this out afterwards. There's so much stuff, it's just gonna be a pain to pile it up and have it kicking around. So I'll go on to the next box now. We'll go on to box numero 2. This is like the big box. There's so much stuff here. There's just like literally hundreds and hundreds of individual random things. So we've got a Action Man body wash. That's sort of probably late 90s, early 2000s. This era of Action Man, it seemed like a couple of years ago it was starting to get a bit of a following. Some of the figures are pretty expensive, but it just seems to have died. I don't know. Like there was seemed to be for a bit of time. Modern, well, like that era of Action Man seemed to be getting a bit of a collector following. I don't know if it still is. I don't actively follow it, but stuff like that I wouldn't assume is worth any more than a couple of quid. Then we've got this cool little robot bubble bath bottle. That's pretty nifty. Not too old, but someone will want it, I would imagine. And then here we've got a bath droid bubble bath. And this is come on, look at the design of that. Whoever designed that should be embarrassed because it's shit. Embarrassing. So there's some bubble bath bottles. It's an odd one, this, isn't it? Like someone who's meticulously bagged up all this stuff, and also there's a few more bubble bath bottles in here as well. Maybe they just, you know, meticulously bagged up their stuff and deigned to be cleansed in novelty bubble baths. An odd one. Here's a packet of fairly modern Avengers hero attacks with a whole bundle of empty packets as well. Got some Stick Maniacs. Now, I have no idea what Stick Maniacs are, but I can hazard a good guess why these didn't take off, because they're stick, you know. Maybe they did take off and I'm oblivious to it. I'm going to put it in this box over there so it doesn't blow around. So next up we've got these, and again these are another one which, there's quite a few of them here, so it's alright, I can bundle them up, but these are quite common. I think you can buy like sealed booster boxes of these, they're not very expensive. Spice Girls World Photographs, and there's a few sealed packets there and there's a few opened ones. There's quite a few other bits of Spice Girls memorabilia in here as well. A whole fat stack of Fleer X-Men cards. Yeah, again, like the other stuff, they're really not that expensive. I got some top Star Wars cards from The Last Jedi. So, you know, pretty recent. Some Star Wars stacks from the Clone Wars. Again, just magnetic squares. These must have been popular somewhere, because they made so many different lines of these stacks. But who was buying them? That's incredibly boring. These are pretty cool. Marvel Heroes Ultimate Collection, and they're basically made by Prezioso, and they're like little figures. They're sort of like flat figures, and they come with some cards and stuff. So there's quite a few of them in there. There's a few, but yeah, there's a few sealed packets in there. There's probably a good 10 individual figures in there. So that's quite nice. I can bundle those up. I've got a whole stack of Doctor Who cards. These are Alien Attacks. Now these for me hold a pretty, I'm not going to say a significant memory, but I have a memory related to these. I remember I was sort of, me and this geezer at school. I say geezer, I mean one of my friends at school. You know, well, it wasn't like Danny Dyer coming into my school to trade Doctor Who cards, but I remember I was sort of arranging a swap with some Doctor Who cards with someone I knew. And then they brought them in, and you know, obviously I was an OG Battles in Time Doctor Who card fan, and he brings in a stack of these, and I'm like, bloody hell, I don't want these rubbish things. So in my collection of Doctor Who Battles in Time cards, I just had like a couple of these kicking around. Boring, don't want them. These have got bloody sharp corners. Battles in Time cards had rounded corners, so there we go. A couple of packets of Star Wars Merlin stickers from the 90s, and a few random cards. These sort of Merlin stickers can be like hit and miss. Like sometimes the rarer ones, like individual packets, can be quite can be quite expensive, but sometimes they're just common to get a booster box. So sometimes this might be worth 50p or less. It could be worth a few pounds though, so I don't know. There's quite a few sealed packets of Panini and Merlin stickers in here. 5 packets of sealed Johnny Quest cards. It's quite interesting. Bubbleheads by Matchbox from 1989. This one, it looks like the glue for the pod has like turned into dust. So yeah, it's like a load of white powder kicking around in there. I assume it's dust. Maybe this lot was consigned by Pablo Escobar, and this is used for transportation of stuff. I don't know. But yeah, Bubbleheads. This is pretty nifty. I did look this one up. I couldn't find a single one, not even loose. So again, it's probably just another like toy which came out, tried to catch on to something like a fad, and just didn't really take off. Next up we've got these pods, version 1. I doubt there was a version 2. I've absolutely no idea what these are. They're like, I'm not even sure. Maybe there's something missing, but it seems like they're just cardboard hexagons. Star Wars tags. Again, this is another thing which there's so many properties had these like blind bag tags, dog tags. I don't remember everyone ever buying them, but I think I had a few. I think I had a few Pokemon ones. Zig and Zag, a little PVC figure made by Vivid Imaginations. These are really common. I think someone must have found a case or a pallet or a warehouse full of these, because they're always on eBay and they're never very expensive, like a couple of quid for like a full set of them. Still, those Zig and Zag are pretty cool, so there you go. Some Star Wars Rogue One trading cards by Topps. So there's a lot of like just 1-2 packets of Star Wars things here that I will probably just bundle up as a whole lot of Star Wars stuff. Someone will probably want it, but you know, it's just, you know, you can't really do very much when you've just got like a couple of packets of common cards. No one's going to really want them. A little Transformer, I think that's like a Microbot. Might be a bootleg actually, if it doesn't look there's any markings on it. Some Marvel Crazy Bones. These are incredibly boring. Some of these are just like Green Goblin. That one's just like the Hulk. It's so boring, but still though, print pristine with the packet with the stickers. There's probably someone out there that just wants these stickers, and they're probably quite hard to find. Another packet of OG Gogos. I think those are like Series 1 even. Some Star Wars stickers from 2012 apparently. Star Wars Evolution trading cards. Never heard of those. I did collect a lot of different Star Wars products back in the day, but I don't remember those. I do remember these though, and I'm sure a lot of people do. These are the Tazos. You see these like every single car boot sale you go to, you're going to find some of these. These were just so big back in the day. These came in crisps, like little discs you clip together. This is pretty cool. A Hot Wheels Road Maniacs Warriors figure. They're just like little Mad Max sort of inspired things. They did a range of toys, and clearly they did a blind bag where you bought some figures like individually. They're pretty cool. Some Micro Machine blind bag. I'm going to try and breeze through this quite quickly because there's a lot more to go, and we're already 15 minutes in. Some Batman Returns cards with the wrapper. Some more Hero Attacks. Some X-Files sort of panoramic cards, it looks like. An Action Man Mackie Lads toy. Comes with a parachute. I think I had that one. Rings a bell anyway. So Monster in My Pocket dinosaurs, or at least one of them. Minty condition with the packet, with the card. That's probably one of the better things I've seen so far. I wouldn't be surprised, you know, in this condition with the card and the packet. This is probably worth, you know, 10, 15 quid. I've never had any that have come with the card before, and if you collect these and you want them in the best condition, that's probably as good as you're going to get. Bionic bungees. Some a whole load of Pogs. Power Ranger Pogs. Lion King Pogs. And Gladiator Pogs. See if we've got a jet one in here. No. Is that... Who's that? Is that Wolf? I can't... Yeah, I think that's Wolf. Some more Pogs here. Whole load of different ones in this bag. There's about 4 or 5 different wrappers there. Then there's like some biker mice from Mars Pogs, and just a whole load of Pogs. We've got something just fell down the back. I don't know what that was. We've got bloody Pog fever over here. There's so many of them. Some little sleek Rupert the Bear figures. These are cool. I do like these. These are Pirates of the Caribbean medallions. It looks like these are made by... Who are these made by? I have no idea who made these, but they're from the Dead Man's Chest, and they're like little gold coins with Pirates of the Caribbean characters. They're really cool. They're pretty damn nifty, actually. Got another novelty bubble bath holder for Matchbox Cars, the Fast Lane. It is empty, thankfully. I bought a collection a couple of weeks ago, and there's some vintage Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ones, and they're sealed. There's a bit of an anecdote for you. And this is when it was like freezing weather a couple of weeks ago. You know, it was really cold, it was snowing a bit. And I came out here to my storage, and one of them had just like exploded. It was like a puddle of... Well, it probably wasn't that insane of an explosion. More like it had compressed a bit and the top had come off, and it was bubbling, oozing bubble bath coming out. It was pretty disgusting. It stinks as well, so I'm happy that those are empty. Another pile of cards. These are from a thing called Gen 13. I've absolutely no idea what that is. I'm sure they're worth absolutely nothing. Some Spider-Man Pogs. Some Topps tattoos and some Rust Trolls trading cards. Now this right here, this is... I did see this when I had a flick through. This is a great item. This is probably I want to say probably the best thing in there, unless there's something like, you know, a rare card or a rare Pog or a rare Pog. I don't think any of those exist, but unless there's something rare in here like that I've missed, I think this is probably the most expensive piece in here. So this is a Sonic and Knuckles PVC figure from the mid-90s. These were made by Corinthian, and I believe these were only released in the UK. So I have had a few of these before, and it's a shame that the figure I've got here is a Robotnik, because I think there's about, you know, there's about, how many, yeah, 20 figures in the set, and some of the figures in the set are like the only figures you can get of certain characters. So some of Robotnik's goons, like, you know, the robot caterpillar, the robot crab, that's the only time they've ever made a figure of them, and you could only get it in like this blind pack that was only made in the UK. So some of those figures, I've had some of these before, like, you know, the robot crab, and they'll go like straight away at like 50 quid. So if that had been one of those, I would have been really happy, because with the packet and the card, it would have been a lot more. Saying that though, Robotnik, it's still a rare item. Probably still going to be somewhere around like 30, 40 quid. That's quite a nice little piece. And now we've got a Mega Bloks Marvel Series 1 figure. That is Iron Man. Vision Pogs. And some other weird bootleggy Pogs. I don't know, some weird looking things there. What is going on here? Things called wrappers, made by Magic Box. Skyzos. Oh, there they are, wrappers. And I've seen a couple bits here that are quite exciting. Let's go through this. There's a lot of bits and pieces in the bottom. I'm not going to go through all of it, but, you know, stuff like this, you know, Toy Story 3D video. Used to get stuff like this in cereal and crisps. Rugrats the movie, little flickering cards from Skips. You know, it's a real shame. Back you know, back in the day, you couldn't eat anything without having some kind of movie or franchise advertised to you, and it's so shite these days that you just don't get that. Stink Blaster trading cards. This is a rare piece, again, very similar to some of the other stuff here. The actual Stink Blaster toys are pretty sought after. I don't know if these cards will be, but they're quite rare, so those might hold a bit of value. A Spider-Man drink bottle and some Spider-Man Smarties. Well, a Spider-Man Smarties tube. And then these are pretty cool. So I did actually crack these open because I was a bit excited. So these are the Adrenaline XL trading cards for the London 2012 Olympics. You wouldn't think these would hold a lot of value, and they don't. But there are two cards from this set that go for a lot of money. The Anthony Joshua one and the Usain Bolt cards individually are worth about 75 quid each. And a lot more if they're graded. So I did crack that packet open just to see if there were any in there. I mean, I cracked this pack open, they were already opened, and I don't have any of those in there. I thought the Mo Farah card might hold a little bit of value. It doesn't. People try and ask a lot for it. People are listing it for like 20 quid, but they're not selling. They're going for like a few pence. So, there we go. There's that box. Certainly some fun stuff in there. Some cool bits and pieces. And I've got about 8 minutes left, so let's try and breeze through this box quite quickly. And then we'll call it a day. So, some Street Fighter Pogs. It looks like a little Posh Spice Corinthian figure, and some Power Pods, and some like little Barbie things. Draco magnets. They look like a sort of bootleg. Toons as well look like a sort of bootleg Gogos. But Ugly Martians. This was a rubbish TV show, but I did used to love it. Walker's Cubics. Rubik's, Cubics, I don't know. They look like Kazos. Some Simpsons collectible magnets, stacks again. A whole load of Pogs and Tazos. And Star Wars sealed pack of Panini stickers from the 90s. A whole load of Pogs. A whole load of those Star Wars busts. Let's crack these open. These are great. You get little busts of the Star Wars Episode 1 characters. These came in cereal, and inside them, there's little information cards. So yeah, very cool. Again, you see those all the time. They're worth basically nothing. Pogs. Space Precinct Pogs. Some Pokemon movie cards. Some of these are quite expensive if they're graded. These obviously are not graded, and they look a little worn. If they're in fair condition, I mean, there's quite a few in there. There might be a couple in there that are worth selling individually. Some of them, you know, they're like 5-10 quid. A whole load of Space Precinct Pogs. Oh, bloody hell, I do love Space Precinct. I've only ever seen a few episodes of it, but it's great stuff. Yeah, I've got a minute or so to talk about Space Precinct. It's basically like a Jerry Anderson series from the 90s. I think it was quite popular, but they didn't make too many episodes. I think there's like one series. And I watched an episode of it back along. See, episode 1 is mental. It's basically like the futuristic police, and they're trying to like sort out this drug gang, and they find out that the drug gang is like putting narcotics inside pizzas and delivering them. So they're like busting police. They're busting like pizza delivery drivers, and they'll crack open the pizza and they've got narcotics on them, but it isn't narcotics, it's like worms, but normal earthworms. But I guess in the Space Precinct universe they're narcotics, I don't know. But Space Precinct, it isn't actually that good, but it is cool, so watch it. Star Wars cards, little Star Wars things that came in crisp, if I remember correctly. These were like a sort of scratch card type thing. Star Wars Episode 1 panoramic cards. I had a full set of these when I was younger, and I bought them at a car boots, and I paid something, I say paid something ridiculous. I think I paid like £5 for a full set of them. It's quite a lot back in the day. There's an empty packet of Star Wars Series 2 panoramic cards. Prehistoric mini boggling in the packet with the cards. Again, similar to the Monster in My Pocket Dinosaur, that's something someone will want. They are hard to find with the cards, so to get it in that condition is quite nice. Star Wars Episode 3 related cards and things, there's a lot of stuff in there. A load of Sonic the Hedgehog and Batman and Robin Macula toys. I'm not going to crack them open. A sealed packet of Star Wars episodes 4 to 6 top trumps. They are actually factory sealed. They're probably £10 free postage. Sealed top trumps are actually something which is quite collectible. I bought a massive collection of them a couple of years ago, and some of the rarer packs sealed, the modern ones, some of them do go for pretty good money. Some of the sealed ones can be like 30-40 quid. And here's an opened pack of Star Wars episodes 1 to 3. They're basically not even worth selling when they're opened. Star Wars Episode 1 stickers. We've only got a couple more things to go here. A load of Star Wars cards Episode 2. Some Space Jam trophies. I think these came in cereal. I don't know. And then there's a little handful of those TMNT T cards in there as well. So there we go. Just about finished in time for 30 minutes. So yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff in there. Obviously the best thing, as I mentioned already, in my opinion anyway, before I do any research, is the little Robotnik figure. That's a really nice find in the packet. So that's cool. Now we've got a couple of minutes gone, and let's crack open the cards just to get an idea of the condition of them. It looks like there's a few more cards in here as well. So yeah, these are slightly later ones. And there's a Magneton. It's in pretty nice condition. Yeah, that's actually, that does look to be pack fresh, as the people call it. Yeah, these are actually in really nice condition. They didn't look it in the... Yeah, these are actually probably worth listing individually. You do find with these Topps cards, if they haven't been kept in a folder, the corners get blunted. There's a little bit of wear to the edge, which is devaluing to it, but they're in pretty good nick overall. There's one card from this set that does go for quite a bit of money. It's the holographic Charizard. It's a card more like this, like a screenshot from the movie. It doesn't look like I've got it here, but they're in pretty good condition. They're probably are indeedy doody worth a couple of quid each. So yeah, these are cool. Let's have a quick look through the rest of them. They're all sort of stuck together where it's cold. Tangler. And just a couple more there. So yeah, nothing too exciting, but a couple of certainly those movie cards are saleable. So yeah, there you go. That's the whole lot. I'm really happy with this. This was a really fun thing to go through. There's some nifty stuff here which I've never heard of. It's always fun to learn about new things. And I've got a couple of plastic tubs that I can reuse. So all in all, a fun lot. So there you go. Hopefully this was an enjoyable video, and subscribe if you want to see more similar things. We'll be back soon with something else, I'm sure. So yeah, we'll see you soon. Goodbye, and have a good beverage or something. Bye.